17 was rolling.
Okay, you can start whenever you want to.
Okay, my name is Clifford Davis. I'm the person for whom this school is named. I was born in 1924 in Wilton, Little River County, Arkansas. That's a small community, about 25 miles north of Texarkana in the adjoining county. I was the last of 7 children born to my parents, Augusta and Dora Davis. And my daddy was a farmer, and we owned our own farm, although he did lease other property so that they'd make a better living for the family. All of us at various times worked in the farm in connection with it. We owned our own cows, and my mother sold milk and butter from our cows to the people at Ashdown, which was the county seat. We grew up there, the 7 children, 5 boys and 2 girls, and they taught us to be supportive one of the other and taught us all to work. All of us worked in the field. I remember being working in the field from age 6, picking cotton and things like that. My mother was very, very frugal. We had 3 vegetable gardens, one a beautiful flower garden, and we were taught, and I had to help keep all of that up, as well as help gather up the cows and help feed the animals. We had hogs and cows and mules and what have you. And as I grew up, I learned to support, all of us had to work to help support the family makeup. I had an aunt who lived in Little Rock. The education there was an 8th grade school. My father had finished 8th grade, but my mother went blind when she was in the 3rd grade and didn't recover her sight until she was 18. Of course, she didn't go back to school to be in the 3rd grade, and ultimately married my father. My aunt in Little Rock arranged for us to come up there so we could get the benefit of better education at Little Rock. So that my older brother went up first, and then my older sister, and ultimately we rented a house so all of us could go up there. 6 of the 7 of us went to Little Rock and went to high school in Little Rock. But the older ones in the family were the guardians. We had been taught to listen, obey, and cooperate, keep out of trouble. And all of us, 6 of us were there, went to and finished Dunbar High School. I went to Philander Smith College and finished in 1945. My sister and I, immediately above me, finished high school at the same time. In 1942, she went into the beauty school and became a beautician, and I went to Philander. My other brothers, one was unfortunately killed in an accident in 1942, and then the Army got 2 of my brothers during the war years. I did not go to the war because I had a growth on my foot, bone growth, that disqualified me from military service. After I finished Philander in 1945, school year 46, I went to Howard University Law School. And during that time, I applied for admission to the law school at the University of Arkansas. And during the negotiations over that by correspondence, school year 46, 47, I went to Atlanta University. But I continued my negotiations with the University of Arkansas for admission. Fall of 47, I went back to the law school at Howard, and they announced finally in January of 1948 that they would admit me to Arkansas Law School if I showed up. At that time, I elected not to go, but fortunately, a fellow named Silas Hunt, who had graduated from Arkansas State, went up to Arkansas and was admitted to the law school, and Arkansas became the only southern state, as far as I know, to admit a student to the graduate professional school without litigation. In the fall of '48, the med school admitted one person, Edith Irby Jones. Edith Irby was her name then, to the med school. I graduated from Howard Law School in 1949 and started practice with Mr. Flowers in Pine Bluff. 49. In 50, I moved down to Camden and stayed there until 52 and came to Texas. I taught at Paul Penn College, which was located in Waco at that time, because I had set up residence to take the Texas bar. So I had that year to set up for residence and took the Texas bar and passed, and was admitted to the bar in 53. I finished that school year and came to Fort Worth to practice in 1954. Now, while I was in Pine Bluff with Mr. Flowers, we started filing integration lawsuits back in 1950 in Arkansas. At the time I left, I had pending the school case against the school at Bearden, Arkansas, and I participated in the integration of not integration, but filed for integration over at Helena, Arkansas, with a friend of mine with whom I had been in college as well as law school, Jefferson Wilbur. I kept my case in Bearden pending while I was here in Texas, and ultimately after the 1955 decision, I got an order for integration at Bearden, although they did not hear me. I came here to practice in '54. I had to spend some time in the military, and I got away from the military and with a honorable discharge in January of 1955 and came back to practice with the law firm of Bunkley and Bedford, who were lawyers with separate solo practices in Dallas, and I was going to take up their practice here. I started moving for trying to improve the living conditions for black people in Fort Worth. And there, 55, 6, I filed the Mansfield School for Integration because at that time Dunbar Dunbar High School didn't exist. Matter of fact, the only high school that blacks could go to in Tarrant County was I.M. Terrell, and the kids from Mansfield, Grapevine, and Arlington, and out west of here had to come into Fort Worth and go to Terrell. So we filed a school in Mansfield to try to get the kids there, and that's where the episode was, the disturbance and violence in 1956. At any rate, in 1959, I filed for integration in Fort Worth Independent School District. I participated in a number of things trying to open up doors for black people in employment. We filed against General Dynamics, we filed complaints with the EOC, with General Motors, and we were trying to improve the relationship with the police department and in city government. We've participated in all of those things. I have been generally involved in Precinct Workers Council, trying to get people to vote, so that I have been involved in the community and everything to try to look out for what I call the general welfare of the total population, and of course, remove barriers for blacks. We have lived through and worked through and assisted in trying to get an integrated society, better employment, better living conditions, better housing conditions for our people, particularly black people, and I've been successful. We have had good success in Fort Worth. We got blacks on the school board, blacks on the city council, blacks in county commissioner, blacks in various phases of government. We've had 2 black city managers here, blacks in the legislature, so that the circumstances have improved, although there is plenty of space for growth and development still, and we're still to make the general welfare of the community a better place for all people. Somebody arranged for this school to be named, carry my name, so that when this school opened in 2002, it was named the L. Clifford Davis Elementary School. And I was real proud of that because the Fort Worth School District awarded a contract to build this school to a black contractor named Leonard Briscoe. And I had removed Leonard Briscoe's minor as a minor so that he could go into business when he turned 19 back years ago. And I had been a friend and mentor and counselor to him throughout his career. So that it was a great source of pride to me that he was awarded a contract to build this school. So a person that I had removed disabilities of a minor had grown up and was a successful businessman in this community. He had been a member of the city council as well as a member of the Texas legislature during his career. So that I have, since this school was in operation, try to come over at least once a month, and I've done so for the most part. There have been months that I have missed, but I will visit with the children, and I'm proud of the progress that's been made at Clifford Davis School. I was told at one time that there were 16 different language cultures of students coming to this school, and this school has been among the schools of excellence in the Fort Worth School District, despite all of those different cultures that come here, which means to me that a lot of the teachers, if not all of the teachers, are doing an extraordinary job over here at this school. It is an exemplary school. I remember several years ago, the president of the American Bar Association, who was black at that time, came to Fort Worth to speak, and we brought him over here, and he was so impressed, said it was one of the best mannered schools that he had attended, and he had attended and visited in schools all over the country. So that we've gotten a lot of good compliments about the Clifford Davis Elementary School. It makes me feel very, very proud of the work that the teachers are doing over at this school. I come over and I want the students to know and have the opportunity to meet the person for whom the school was named, so that when they are mature, they can say that I went to that elementary school, and that person for whom that school was named would come over and greet us and hug many of us as we entered the school. Have you cut them off?
I got it.
Was that what you all were looking for?
Yes, sir. Thank you very, very much.
Your introduction, yeah, who you were.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, Mrs. Henderson, I am real proud of this school.
Okay.
I don't know whether you all are rated excellent now, but 1 or 2